now open the meeting for Thursday, January 19th, 2017.
Gary Bowden.
Here.
Robert Kaplan.
Here.
Ryan Kennedy.
Here.
Sam Lopez.
Here.
Chad Sigmund.
Here.
Vice Mayor Malpajo.
Here.
Mayor Goins.
Here.
This evening, we'll have our prayer and pledge by Councilmember Kennedy.
Let's pray. Lord, thank you for the opportunity to come here tonight and do the people's business, and please give us wisdom through our deliberations. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This evening, we have a special presentation by our mayor and vice mayor.
This is a very special night for the city of Clarksburg. We're so proud to be able to come here tonight and honor the RCB cheerleaders and the coaches for your outstanding job at the state championship. So if I could have the two coaches up here this evening. Certificate of Recognition. This certificate is presented to Jennifer Banco, duly awarded in recognition of your exceptional coaching skills and dedication to youth that earned the RCB High School Cheerleading Squad their 5th consecutive state championship in the Big Ten Conference title and 4th consecutive Class AA championship. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Good
That's
job.
my sister.
Okay, well, this is Andrea Weaver, and Jennifer Banco is not here yet, so if you would like to accept these on her
Thank
behalf
you.
as well. And again, congratulations to the parents. I know you do a lot of support behind this group, and we really are very, very proud of what you've done for our community. And if you'd like to say a word.
She like that in practice group? Guys?
I do have a record that I am more prompt than Jennifer. We got in a fight about this the other day.
Well,
No.
if you all would like to come up, we could take a group picture.
You want to pass these out to?
Oh, yes, we actually have one for each individual student, so.
Bear with me with some of these pronunciations. Autumn Hensman? Heisman? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sarah Comer? Congratulations. Emily Wilfong? Congratulations. Karen Bailey? Congratulations. Zachariah Hines? Congratulations. Kaylee Henderson? Congratulations. Erica Clevenger? Congratulations. Gia Maroney? Congratulations. Cameron Weaver? Congratulations. Angelina Cruz America? Congratulations. Kaylee Hollins? Congratulations. Okay, good. Ezra Michael? Gavin Cook? And Sophie Banco? Congratulations.
Take a little group picture. I'll congratulate you all. Thank you. You're welcome. Congratulations. Good job. Congratulations. Good job.
Thank you.
Guys should be very proud.
I think the mayor needs one of those jackets.
You guys have your certificates out?
I mean, we can. You all want to scoot in a little closer, or?
You want us to? Like, some girls down?
Yeah, maybe.
Tell us in the back, guys.
Now, you know you're not going to leave here without doing a little cheer.
You guys can like school. But is that in tight enough? Is that good enough? Who's taking the picture? There you are. Jennifer Banko, the head coach. Congratulations.
Jennifer, do a few with it.
Make us run. Make us run. Run laps. A lot. For however many laps we were late. What time? Every minute. For every minute we were late, that's how many laps we ran. Are we done?
Now that the real Jennifer Banko's would you like to say something on behalf of your team?
Well, sure. First, I want to apologize for being late because well, they know. I want to acknowledge their hard work. We didn't just win our first state championship. I'm sure you probably acknowledge that this is their 5th in a row. Not only have we won our 5th state championship, we won our 5th conference title as well, and our 4th regional championship. So we're virtually undefeated. We have, in all of those wins, we have one, I guess you could call it loss. We still qualified to get out of the region and then came back to win the state championship. I think that was 3 years ago. We have 3 seniors, 2 juniors. We're an extremely young team. So without great leadership from the older kids and willingness for all of them to work as hard as they do, we would never be able to do what they do year after year after year. So they really deserve the recognition, and we really appreciate that you guys honor them with this.
Now can we get a little cheer?
We could do.
Let's do our first stunt.
They do a little cheer, and it grows every year, and it started with the first win. And it's not really like difficult, but it's meaningful. BCOD, this is how we end every practice.
Yeah, say 5 times. Yeah, 5 times.
Don't yell it.
Don't hold back.
Yeah, let's hold back a little bit.
BCOD, Roland Boa, BCOD, 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 Sutton, 5-time fuse lose, 1 win. 4 Alnesses that walk just bust a move.
Clear eyes, full hearts.
Can't lose, Schmidt.
1, 2, 3.
Great, and toot toot.
Yeah.
I guess I have to like 3 W's.
Approval of the regular minutes of January 5, 2017.
So moved.
If there are no objections, then motion carries.
Petitions, communications, and public hearings. I don't believe anyone has signed up to speak this evening. City manager's report and update.
So under demolition, Empire Builders did complete raising 206 Tuna Street. I'm not sure if you had an opportunity to go by there, but the structure has been removed. They will be seeking mulching at a later date after they finish 516 South 3rd Street. There's a delay on 516 South 3rd Street as we're waiting for First Energy to remove the electric power source coming to the house so it can be raised. 355 Monticello Avenue. Tuesday evening, this past Tuesday, part of that building collapsed in the front. So 911 was called. Our Public Works Department, the fire department did respond to that location to clean up a portion of that building that came out on Monticello Avenue and also the sidewalk. This structure is not within the TIF, but I will be working with Kim, our finance director. I think it's pertinent that we find some funding within the budget of some sort, a funding source, to actually get this building raised as soon as possible. It's becoming a hazard down there. This was one of the structures that was placed out to bid several years ago that ultimately was not awarded based upon what we find now was through the circuit court in Kanawha County, but this should have been already completed. So this is really becoming a hazard now. As for safety, it needs to be done. Economic development, historical tax credit forum, been participating with a consortium for a coalition to revitalize West Virginia's downtowns to advocate increase in the state historic tax credits from 10% to 25%. Next Thursday is actually a public meeting and a forum to be held in Fairmont, and that'll be from 1 to 3 o'clock. But this actually puts us into equal competition with our surrounding states that already have 25% tax credits for revitalization of these historical structures. So I'm continuing to work with this coalition and meeting with our delegates and state representatives in an attempt to get our tax increase, or the credits increased statewide. And this also helps 2 other cities in Harrison County, which are Salem and Shinston as well, as there are 4 historical districts in Harrison County. And we do have 2 of them. And then MORE, which is Monticello Ongoing Revitalization Effort. There will be a town hall meeting at 6 p.m. Thursday, January 26th at the Mount Zion Baptist Church on E.B. Saunders Way. The project area is fairly large, but it will encompass from the intersection of Main and 2nd Street all the way to Clay Street, back down around to where the Elk Creek meets around Harrison and Monticello on that side. But again, this has been put together by community activists within that area that wanted to really reclaim their neighborhoods and do some great things there. MVB Bank is on board as a participant, as well as some other entities within the county. I think this will really catch on as it moves forward, but when that public hall meeting happens, we're really going to find out what that community really wants to envision that they become going forward in the future. And it's not only infrastructure items, but it's also individual items on their properties, as well as for drug addiction. It's all facets of what makes a community. So we're looking forward to this meeting and engaging with that community. The Rails to Trails meeting, the Industrial Heartland Trails Coalition, we'll be hosting a public meeting Tuesday, February 7th here at City Hall. There are several gaps within the trail that need to be completed to complete the 180-mile trail. Once that's completed, it will be one of the longest trails in North America that's continuous. So this meeting will focus upon how we're going to close those gaps. Here in Clarksburg, there is a section over on near Route 50 that goes north that there is a gap, and we'll be working with this coalition to try to find a way to close that gap and make it able to ride going north.
There's no time on that.
No, there's not. There will be later. It has not been decided. Clarksburg Federal Credit Union, the contractor is about 90% complete. As you drive by there, you can see that they've done a great job on that building for the credit union. But a dedication ceremony will be planned sometime in late February, and we'll make sure council and the public's made aware of when that's going to happen. Sanitary Board, the sewer trunk line cleaning. State Pipe has completed the trunk line along West Fork River. The project completed 66 tons of debris removed from that line. The entire 3,850 linear feet has been videoed. So next time we come back in there, we'll see how much debris does build up in that section of line. 12th Street Mainline Sewer Extension Upgrade Project. The Sanitary Board did approve this project. The project upgrade and extend the current sewer line on North 12th Street will be from Perlman Avenue to Franklin Avenue, and Bear Contracting is anticipated to begin the work next week. And then just under the police and fire, Civil Service Commission did meet, reviewed the psychological and the background tests that were done on these individuals. 5 candidates will be moving forward. Those oral interviews will be conducted by the Civil Service Commission, at which time they'll come back and then certify that list, and the chief and I will begin the interview process. Our goal is to get a minimum of 3 individuals selected out of these 5 to get on to the State Police Academy. Those names have to be submitted in early February, so we are in time bench for that, but the academy begins in April, and our current staffing level for the department is at 41 right now. And then we just had one FOIA request for the Freedom of Information Act by Randy Gambos. It was submitted Wednesday, January 4th. We did respond to that in a timely manner. The information is requested is for all building permits from January 1 of 2016 through December 31st of 2016. So you can imagine that's quite a lot of information. So that information will be provided to him on Friday, January 27th, and that completes the management.
Thank you.
Unfinished business. Consideration of second and final reading and public hearing of an ordinance of the City of Clarksburg amending Article 1315.01 of Part 13 of the Codified Ordinances of the City of Clarksburg by amending the zoning map, rezoning all those certain tracts or parcels of land situate in the City of Clarksburg, Clark District, Clarksburg, Harrison County, West Virginia, situate on the north side of Milford Street between North Avenue and an unnamed alley designated as parcels 363, 364, 365, 308, 309, 309.1, 310, 311, 312, 252, and 253 on tax map 4 from their current status as a business 2 district to a business 3 district. Notices regarding the public hearing appeared in the expedited telegram on January 10 and January 17th.
We will now open this up for a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against may do so at this time. We will close the public hearing.
So moved. Second.
All in favor, signify.
Discussion.
Discussion.
Gary, you want to?
Well, in an effort to support our business community and the work of planning and zoning, I certainly supported this the first time around, and I want to thank the city manager for having our code go in and ascertain a 1,000-foot radius, which provides a little bit of reassurance. But that being said, I've done a lot more investigating. I've talked to P&Z, I've talked to the city manager, I've talked to the code department, I've talked to concerned neighbors, I've exchanged emails with concerned neighbors, I've read the ordinance, as confusing as it might be. I don't see how this is going to significantly improve property values. We've had no one come before this body to suggest a way in which it would improve property value, including, I don't believe he's here, the business person that applied for the change in zoning from B2 to B3. No other property owners requested it. It was suggested by the Planning and Zoning Committee so that we wouldn't end up with a spot zoning situation, but none of the other owners of parcels along that Milford Street stretch under discussion has requested this or suggested that it would be a big boon to them in increasing their property value. It seems to me that the only issue is still the video machines, and although it would appear that through our ordinance there's little likelihood that the business person who has applied for this rezoning could gain a license for gaming, I just can't see, after looking into this further, any reason for making this change, quite frankly, or a great enough reason for making this change. So I plan to change my vote to no.
And if I may add, having reviewed the same ordinance and finding out, my concern at the last meeting was we are going from B2 to B3. Is B3 simply video lottery? Well,
I'm finding out it is not just video lottery. There are other businesses that can be perhaps put in this building that this gentleman, I guess, will sell. One being a laundromat. Now, if somebody came in wanted to put in a laundromat, they couldn't do it under a B2, but they could under a B3. So finding out that lottery machines can't go in, finding out that other businesses can go in, I will be changing my vote as well.
Any other discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Gary Bowden,
No.
Robert Kaplan,
Aye.
Ryan Kennedy,
No.
Sam Lopez,
Aye.
Chad Sigmund,
No.
Vice Mayor Malfajo,
Aye.
Mayor Goins.
Aye. Motion carries.
New business? No new business? Council comments?
I didn't know if this should fall under new business or council comments, but we have a new member here this evening with us, Mr. Jimmy Can, who is our new city attorney, taking over for the late Greg Morgan. And Jimmy and Greg worked side by side for many years, so we welcome you. And if there's anything we can do to help you, because you know we'll be relying on you to help us. So if you would like to say a word or two.
I'm honored. It's bittersweet for me. Greg and I were partners for 30 plus years. He and his father Roger and my father were the only partners that I've ever had. We were different in a lot of ways, but one thing we shared and had in common was we were both born and raised in Clarksburg and loved the city and the folks that work here and those of you that run it. So I hope to continue whatever Greg did all those good years. Thanks.
Thank you. Welcome. Now we'll move to council comments.
Council comments?
Real quick, Mindy Scott and her daughter Angelica are here this evening. We actually had a meeting prior to the council meeting in regards to a heroin awareness walk. And if you recall, years ago, we did the drug walks throughout the various neighborhoods. So Mindy and her daughter have agreed to spearhead this, and I see that there's members of the heroin addiction awareness team. Okay, and we want you all involved, and you were one of the groups that we mentioned earlier. So we will have a follow-up meeting and try to get a plan of attack, and we think that's a wonderful idea, Mindy. We're looking forward to starting that back up again. And so we'll all work together and get that going. So you can never get too much information out there. So thank you. Thank you, Angelica.
Yeah, I'd like to make a couple comments about the house at 206 Tuna Street that's now down. And I mean, Empire Contractors, these guys don't fool around. You know, Martin said it'll be seated here really soon. That improves that neighborhood. And then also at the corner of South Linden and East Pike Street, if you all recall, right up from Raymond's Restaurant, there was 2 gray homes that they're gone. And they were gone over a 2-day period, and boy, what a change it's made for that corner. So, you know, we're getting some areas cleaned up, and we plan on continuing cleaning up more. And I'd like to welcome City Attorney, Mr. Can. That's it. Thank you.
Well, a couple of things, Madam Mayor. I mean, I appreciate the council people that supported the ordinance tonight, because anybody that owns a piece of property in Clarksburg as long as it's within the guidelines, and they formally come up and have a request, we should honor that request because we have a board, P&Z, that comes back with the, with the decisions. We send it to the P&Z because they investigate, and they come back with that investigation as, okay to do it from B2 to B3. And, I just appreciate people supporting that because I think that shows good support for our community and our businesses because you can do a lot with that, more with that building today than you could yesterday. And as I'll speak for myself, as a council person, that's what I want to happen in our community. Give everybody the opportunity to do the best they can with the property that they have. That's just like the demolition program. When we first started, nobody wants to tear down a house. But when you see one sitting there for 10 years and nobody's doing nothing with it, the choices are few, just like the building that collapsed. Somebody could have got hurt in that building. And Martin, I want to congratulate you and the staff on another lawsuit that has disappeared from our books now. And the burden we went through for 2.5 years, not tearing down houses, was a disgrace to this community. It was a disgrace that we couldn't tear houses down and clean our community up. So I'm glad that that's out and over with, so we can continue to clean up our neighborhoods like we like to. That's all.
I just think it's a great, read in the paper that there would be the new addiction home in Adamston, the Oxford House. That's a great first step. We need more of these homes in Clarksburg with this epidemic that we're having here. One is not going to solve the problem. Talk with individuals saying we need 100 beds more, 100 more beds. So hopefully this will take off well, hopefully be receptive within the community and see how, we're supposed to open up February?
Yes,
February,
I think it's
February. So hopefully it will get some support with the community, show us a positive thing for individuals and families that are suffering with addiction. Other than that, big game this weekend, go Steelers.
Well, I too, some comments on Oxford House. Harrison County, not just Clarksburg, but Harrison County has a huge drug problem, addiction problem, call it what you want, but it's major. And I welcome Oxford. Is it Oxford House or Home? House. To the area. And I want to be very successful. I want all the homes that locate in Harrison County to be very successful. They're well needed. And, I'm anxious for them to open and get busy. I like the concept of Oxford House. The folks can stay as long as they need to. I'm glad it's not a short-term facility. And it means a lot to Harrison County. I'm very much in favor of it. And go Steelers.
I certainly echo what Bob's saying, and I feel encouraged that a lot of the efforts in this community to fight drugs seem to be taking shape now. We're not just meeting anymore. We have some functioning means of people to kick this problem and kick it long term. These houses are part of it. I went to, I'll call it Lou Artenzio's Pitar meeting today. I've been to a couple of them. And they had folks in from Glenville, Gilmer County, and they were presenting is it Smart Recovery? Is that the name of the program? That a couple of young ladies have begun down there, and it would appear, and the reason for their being here today, that program will start in the not too distant future in this community. The group that's here that Kathy already acknowledged is forming Addicts Lives Matters and is starting to raise money. And I wanted to acknowledge, because it will occur before our next meeting, they're actually having a bingo fundraiser on the 29th of January at the VFW, and I would hope the community will help support them. So it's wonderful to see that we actually have folks in our community and activities occurring that are going to try to resolve this problem and treat this problem and treat it long-term. Because I think we've had enough meetings to identify the problem, to recognize that we have a problem. Now we got to do something to recover. And we've got a big group of people, evidenced by some of the folks that I've been talking to and some of the folks that are here tonight, that seem to be bent on tackling this problem. And I encourage them and thank you for your work.
First of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out here tonight. It's always great when we have a large crowd. And I'm going to echo a lot of what you've already heard, which is this drug epidemic is my #1 concern. I can't think of anything that concerns me more in our local community than this. And that's one of the reasons why I volunteered for years now with the Juvenile Drug Court to try to get kids off of drugs. And I've heard more than one person say that we don't have enough beds to treat people. And it's not the only reason we don't have them, but one of the reasons we don't have them is because of a thing called certificates of need, which is a law that West Virginia has that almost no other state has. And it stops people from being able to build these beds in a timely fashion. So they build them in Pennsylvania, Ohio, and other states that don't build them here. And so I would ask that you please contact your legislature, because they're coming into session next month, and ask them to please repeal this so we can finally get the beds in Harrison County that we need. Thank you.
Annette?
I just wanted to make one comment. I wanted to thank our city manager and our council for allowing me the opportunity to go to the West Virginia Clerks and Recorders meeting last week. It was a Region 2 conference, and this is the first time in about 15 plus years that West Virginia clerks actually hosted the conference and meeting. And it was well attended. We had representatives from Delaware, North Carolina, Virginia, and they were very impressed with the way we put the program together and just the state of West Virginia altogether. So they were happy that we were becoming active again and putting West Virginia back on the map. So thank you all for allowing me to do that.
Thank you for attending.
Call for adjournment.
Meeting adjourned.
Later, have fun.